Under orders from President Biden, the National Archives has just released thousands of records related to JFK's assassination. Over 12,000 new files, which makes it the largest release since 2018. So what's in these documents that kept it under lock and key for close to 6 decades? Why was this particular information withheld until now? Here's how White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre kind of addressed that question earlier today.
As you know, this has been a commitment of this president, right? The president's actions have led to public release of over 14,000 records, including approximately 12,000 today, just to give everyone specifics here. As a result, we're talking about 97% of the collection is now available to the public. This reflects, again, the president's commitment to making these records available to the public to the greatest extent possible, consistent with national security.
National security being the key word here. I guess according to the press release from the National Archives, Section 5 of the JFK Act permits postponement for an identifiable harm to military defense, intelligence operations, law enforcement, or conduct of foreign relations where the identifiable harm is of such gravity that it outweighs the public interest in disclosure. So 3% remains under seal. Why? The press secretary also sort of addressed that as well.
He also directed all remaining redacted information to be disclosed to the public when the basis for the continued restriction of that information no longer outweighs the public interest. So obviously there's a national security component here, but he is committed to getting that information out. And right now we're seeing more than 97% of the collection that's out there for folks to review.
The CIA chimed in as well on why some information is still being withheld. They said as of today, 95% of the CIA documents within the JFK Act records collection have been released in their entirety. What little information remains redacted in CIA records in the collection consists of intelligence sources and methods, the release of which would currently do identifiable harm to intelligence operations. The CIA believes all of its information known to be directly related to the assassination of John F. Kennedy in '63 has already been released. Likewise, we're not aware of any documents known to be directly related to Oswald that have not already been made part of the collection. Among the documents that apparently still remain redacted, according to researchers, 44 related to a CIA agent and a covert Cuba-related program he ran that came into contact with Lee Harvey Oswald less than 4 months before Kennedy was shot. Included today was information about what the CIA may have known about Oswald prior to Kennedy's death. As we now know, the CIA had surveillance on Oswald during a trip he took to Mexico City 2 weeks before the assassination. The agency intercepting a call between Oswald and the Soviet embassy, where Oswald, speaking in broken Russian, referred to a previous meeting he'd had with an embassy official and then asked if there was, quote, anything new. There's also Jack Ruby, the man who, of course, shot Oswald while he was in police custody on live television. I wrote a book about Ruby's case called Kennedy's Avenger, Assassination Conspiracy and the Forgotten Trial of Jack Ruby. One document today says the CIA, quote, found no indication that Ruby and Lee Harvey Oswald knew each other or might have been connected in any manner. That, of course, is no surprise to anyone who has studied Jack Ruby. Here to shed more light on both of what is in these documents and why some remain under seal, Gerald Posner, the investigative reporter who wrote Case Closed, Lee Harvey Oswald and the Assassination of JFK. Gerald, good to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. First of all, anything in all of these documents that you've seen that is significant?
No, you know, I've been looking at them since they came out today, Dan, for hours, and there's nothing in there that we say, oh, here's news. Even the stuff, by the way, your Ruby book was very good. It was one of the books that I liked on the case.
Oh, thank you.
But even the stuff that you mentioned before, the CIA saying they had picked up this recording of Oswald making a call, that was known before. That document was released in 1995, but it had some areas redacted. Today, the entire document came out. What did they release today? That the fact they picked up that call with Oswald in a secret intercept room that was authorized by the president of Mexico, and no one in Mexico, including the federal police, knew about that intercept room except for the president. That's what we were protecting in the CIA for all those years, was that type of information, but not the call itself. So we're looking for something that has gravitas to it, and there isn't. It fills in little bits of history, and the real question when you look at these documents, is why have they held on to them so long, fought so hard to keep them secret, because they feed every conspiracy theory in America for people who think the government has something to hide.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.